7, down, up, 8.
Orientation. The first step for the recruits of Academy 5423.
So it was really nice to see that we had a class of about 30 new recruits coming in, and I wanted to thank them for joining us, thank them for the service, let them know that I appreciate them stepping up. I'd let them know that it was a tough job, but it's a rewarding job, and that it also, if they were able to make it 20 years, they will have a good pension for them at the end of that. So one of the things I had mentioned to the recruits was that the training staff at the Academy are going to challenge them, but it's going to be a challenge that's going to be good for them. It's going to be necessary to prepare them for the job. It's not quite like boot camps. That's not a fair descriptor, but it is going to be a challenge, and they are going to be pushed. They're going to be tested, but it's ultimately to make them a better CO, make them a better employee, and make the system a better system.
Day 1. Push-ups, squats, and running back and forth from their vehicles are just a few tasks the recruits are put through in order to test their mental grit.
On my cadence, you go down, and when I tell you up, you come up. You understand that?
Sorry, sir.
And when I say up, you sound off. Ready? Up! Down! Up! Down! Up!
So the first week of the Academy is designed to induce stress on the recruits coming into the Academy because of the environment they're going to come into is a stressful situation. So we want to see how the recruits handle the stress we give them, so that way we can better prepare them inside when they're dealing with the inmate population through the stressful situations, inmates having mental health crisis or medical crisis. We want to see how the recruits are going to handle those situations, and we try to prepare them as best as we can when they head inside. That's what week 1 is designed for, to induce stress on them, to see how they handle the stressful situations.
The group begins week 2 in the classroom. The inmate tracking system, radio procedures, inmate property, and security procedures kick off the week for the recruits. The trainers choose a platoon leader to be in charge of the group.
My name is Officer Brittany Correa. During my first week here in the Academy, we learned that we had to work as a team and did team building activities so that we can learn that when we're behind the wall, that everything is based off of working with our fellow correction officers. Being a platoon leader for this academy means a big deal for me. It's something that puts a lot of stress on because you have to not always worry about yourself, but you have to worry about the others. And for some people, that's not the easiest. And for me, it's not always the easiest. So that's a big stressor that I work for.
Week 3, defensive tactics.
Forward, diagonal. Move. Move. Rear diagonal. Move. 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 Move.
The recruits begin their defensive tactics training.
Move. Move. Get back. Wrong side, these strikes. Ready? Move. Get back. Move. Get back. Move. Get back.
They will be taught a series of movements, blocking techniques, and defensive strikes.
Again, shopping carriage. Your waist is kiss. Pull your knees to your chest.
Training officer Curtis Matthews begins teaching ground defense techniques to the recruits, kicking off week 4.
Head touches to the
The benefits of this program is that it's going to give officers the tools properly needed to restrain somebody without having to resort into striking and other tactics that might, while be proper, could have higher risk of injury to the inmate or suspect that it's being used on.
All I do is just put my hands over at the hook. Just leave it down there. All right, hold, and I'll establish my foot. It's nice and easy.
The recruits will be exposed to OC today, one of the most anticipated days of the academy. The recruits will have to fight their way through different stations where they will demonstrate some of the defensive tactics they've learned.
Yo, Gunner, I'm ready.
First responder program we get into is also great to have. Self-harm issues we have, a lot of unfortunate cutting or a lot of blood control, body substance isolation things, triage is kind of where our medical aspect goes from that. A little bit different than everybody on the streets. We would go and you kind of have a case study and built up on you. Ours is very much a quick action response where we go in and we triage, we assess, and then we move them on to that higher level of care.
For the next few weeks, the recruits will sit through a multitude of classes, such as cultural diversity, de-escalation techniques, emergency plans, and communications, just to name a few. The recruits begin their final week inside the jail. Each recruit will be assigned to different sections of the facility. They will be shadowing the officers currently assigned to those areas. as their 9 weeks of training come to an end. There is only one thing left for the recruits. Graduation. Congratulations to the correction officers of Academy 5423.